what I call credit stagnation, because the mainstream talk about what they call secular stagnation. If you look at how they define it, this is Larry Summers and his mob of friends around MIT, they define secular stagnation as saying the economy slowed down because parents are having less babies and engineers are having less good ideas. That's their explanation. Now, the real reason the economy slowed down is because banks have created so much debt that people are unwilling to take on any more debt, and banks themselves are reluctant to lend because there's now a real worry that they'll have bad debts out of any new debt they create. So you have this very high level of private debt, which doesn't tend to go down all that much and doesn't tend to rise either, and therefore the change in debt is credit. And therefore credit is very tiny now after the crisis, where it was very big before the crisis. So if you look at the American economy, going roughly from memory, I think the annual change in debt, which by changing debt you create credit, the annual credit therefore was about 12% of GDP in the last 5 years before the crisis. Since the crisis, it's been 2% of GDP. Now, what that means is a huge part of the source of demand the economy was used to all the way through the 1990s and 2000s is suddenly not there. And it can stay not there so long as the debt levels remain high, as we've seen in Japan, for a quarter of a century. So it's permanent stagnation unless we reduce the level of debt.